Hey there, comic book fans. Back from another quick trip to the comic shop today. Feeling a little low energy today, too. There were 2 comics on my pull list. Picked up a third off the shelf. Plus, I had a graphic novel on my pull list. But first, we'll start with the comic shop news. And a little, looks like Red Sonja there. Dynamite. On the back, that must be Red Sonja Vampirella. Declan Shavy putting the dye into dynamite. I guess they got some sort of crossover going on. We'll read about that and see what it is. Little Marvels back there, little Captain America, little Conan. I always like reading comic shop news to see what's going on. The Savage Avengers. The X-Force. Green Hornet, Madam Satan. Madam Satan? What the heck is Madam Satan? Archie Comics. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina presents Madam Satan #1. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, after that, the comic I picked up off the shelf was Big Girls #1 by Jason Howard, art and writing by Jason Howard. Jason Howard drew Trees with Warren Ellis writing. That was where I saw him last. I was kind of unsure if I wanted to pick up the first issue of this. Something about 50-foot women fighting monsters or 50-foot men, I don't know. Oh, there's a giant baby. But they had a copy there. I only had 2 comics, so I figured I'd get it. Why not? And then, of course, we got Red Mother, which I've been enjoying. It's #7, right? There's a number on that. #7. It's written out. I've been enjoying Red Mother. There's the back cover. Like that, I call this slice of life horror. Last issue was pretty much she moved to London. And it was pretty much about her life in London working for this guy who makes puzzles, this rich guy, and she's doing something with the internet and puzzles and this and that. And it was just kind of this nice, peaceful issue until the end when something really creepy happened. And that's the story of Red Mother. She's having a nice, peaceful life, and then something creepy happens. I'm really enjoying this. Jeremy Juan, Danny Luckert on art. Boom Studios. So if you want some slice of life horror, pick up Red Mother. And then issue 6 of 7 of Usagi Yojimbo Color Classics. This is they're reprinting the earliest Usagi Yojimbo stuff. Like I've been finding this interesting too because in the latest Usagi Yojimbo story, he's going back to his hometown for the first time, and the Usagi and it's revisiting some of that stuff. And in these reprints of the earliest stuff, he's telling the story about leaving his hometown. So it's like there's a first full circle thing going on in Usagi. So I've been enjoying it thoroughly. Reprint. Once issue 7 comes out, they'll put it all in a trade. So if you want to get an Usagi, the first Usagi trade in color, you can pick it up. And the graphic novel I got this week is, what's the name of it? The Loneliness of the Long Distance Cartoonist. And I think I've been buying Adrian Tomini's stuff since the 90s, and I'm still not sure if that's how you pronounce his last name. I even saw a part of an interview with him on Cartoonist Kayfabe, but they blipped over his last name so fast that I really didn't hear how they pronounced it, and I never kind of went back. But I think you pronounce the E at the end of it, and it's Tomini. But they made this look like a sketchbook because it's supposed to be a diary. They even printed it as some sketchbooks. Oh, look like there's there's a bookmark in here too, as well as the sketchbooks have these. Let me show you. Hold on. There's a little sketchbook that has one. They just keep your sketchbook closed. So the problem is they really get, I haven't used it as sketchbook and still the elastic goes on it. So the elastic's going to go on that, annoyingly. Elastic goes pretty quickly, but speaking of slice of life stuff, that's what he does. Optic Nerve was his. You can see that. Boy, cracking the spine is tough. Gridded paper, and they printed the whole thing on gridded paper. Some artists like to draw on gridded paper in their sketchbook. I'm not one of them. So I'm sure I'm going to find that grid really distracting. And I think this is all new stuff. I'm not even sure. Like, he would put out stuff in Optic Nerve, and it would take him years to put out an issue, and he'd finally get it finished. Other sort of like Sleepwalking, Other Stories, Summer Blonde, Killing and the Dying, I think is the last one I got, and a lot of that stuff appeared in Optic Nerve first. But I think this is all new. I don't think this appeared anywhere else, because I haven't seen an issue of Optic Nerve since the Killing and the Dying. So there's a little handwritten. They really made this thing look like a sketchbook. Acknowledgement. So yeah, more Adrian Tomine. We'll give that a look. And I also got this week. This was a birthday present. Lily Renee, Escape Artist. I'd only heard about this book recently. Trina Robbins, Ann Timmons, and Mo O. And Lily Renee was a Golden Age comic book artist who apparently led a really interesting life before she escaped the Nazis, became a Golden Age comic book artist, and then did other things. So we'll see what this one is. I love history. I love comics. I love comics history, so this is up my alley. And then I did a video of this one just yesterday. The Matrix comics. If you want to take a look, I did one of my taking a look videos. Spencer Lamb, who was the editor on this book, I used to work with him at Marvel in the 90s, and I heard from him recently for the first time in ages, and he's like, "Oh, want me to send you the book I just had made?" I was like, "Sure." So he was the editor on these are Matrix comics that were originally supposed to be on the web only. I think they published some of them in TPBs in the early 2000s, and now they've got the whole collection of them. Big names on it. Jeff Darrow, Bill Sienkiewicz, Neil Gaiman, Ted McKeever, John Van Fleet, Dave Gibbons, David Lapham, Peter Bagg, Paul Chadwick, also Michael Kaluta. So a lot of good stuff in here. Go check out yesterday's Taking a Look video if you want to see inside this. Meanwhile, we will show you a little of what I've been up to. Let's see, I think this is the new one. Oh, there's a couple of them actually. This has got 8/6 on it, which meant I did this last Thursday, so I made the video on Wednesday. You didn't see this one colored. This is one of my Dreams of Things covers that I marker colored. Lots of orange in that background. That guy looks like a deep thinker. And then this one has 8/7 on it, so I did this one on Friday. Her and her. What is that? Looks like fabric coming off a hat, maybe, of orange there. Almost looks like train tracks going back into space when you look at just that part. Lots of faces on this one. There's a couple. See, I just have things piled up on my easel right now. When I'm not working on my easel on these paintings or big drawings, I tend to pile things up on it just so I can look at them. Like these were all my drawings on comics here that I've done over the last couple of weeks. Got my Dreams of Things covers piled up here. Now I just need a little 5x7 one up there too to get the. Sometimes I make little still lives out of stuff and take pictures of the still life. Okay. Anyway, you guys have a good week out there.